Has anybody else noticed on the Mandalorian show that people seem to only be able to shoot Mandalorians in the armor? Like, there's so many scenes where they're like, just aim for his arm. Just aim for his leg. Don't aim directly at the blaster-proof armor. Just an observation. Hello and welcome to another episode of Blastercated Painting. Today we're going to be painting Moff Gideon, his Dark Troopers, and his Death Trooper from Star Wars Shatterpoint by Atomic Mass Games. I have done a tutorial for the Dark Troopers and Moff Gideon for Legion, but that was using mostly contrast paints, like exclusively, so I figured it was time for a redo because these sculpts are really cool. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to use any contrast paints, but we're going to do things a little differently. Let's do it. So first thing we're going to do is going to give these guys a dark spray. I have had a couple people ask me what I use for primer, and I use Beauty Tone Camo Coat Olive. The olive isn't black, so I can get a little bit more color out of it. Anyway, it's a really nice primer, and it dries super quickly, so I don't have to wait a long time to paint them. Normally, I can spray them, and an hour later I can start painting them. So we're going to take some Wolf Gray first, and we're going to do a dry brush on all the Dark Troopers and the Death Troopers. So we're going for, instead of just a straight black color, we're going to go for a bit of a bluish black color at the end. And this is just going to be the easiest way to get these guys done. Easy and still look good. So, at least I think they look good. You be the judge. Let me know in the comments below. Next, we're going to take some pale gray. We're not going to clean our dry brush at all. We're just going to use the same one, and we're going to do a dry brush again, a little bit lighter than we did with the wolf gray, and we're just hitting more of the edges than anything else. So, with Moff Gideon, we can also do this on his armor panel on his chest and his shoulders. Next, we're taking some matte black here, and we're going to be putting this over all of the cloth materials on Gideon, cloth and leather, I guess. So everything that we didn't just dry brush, we're going to be putting this matte black on there. Also, the back of his cape as well. The underneath of his cape is going to be red, so leave that the way it is. Then we're going to take some Basilisk Red, yep, and this is going to go on the under part of his cape. So just get on there. This covers really nicely. Next, we're taking some Plate Mail Silver here, and we're going to give a dry brush of the Plate Mail Silver to all of their guns. So anybody who's got a blaster, this is just going on there. Also, the blaster on the Death Trooper's belt and the grenades he has as well. Next, we're taking some Oak Brown here, and this is going all over Gideon's skin. So he's only got his face showing, so we're just getting it on there. Next, we're taking some deep gray here, and this is going to go on his hair. Now we're taking some Cloudburst Blue, Grim Black, and Speed Paint Medium, and we're going to mix those all together, but we're only going to put in about like 3 drops of the Grim Black. We're just darkening down the blue, and this is going to go all over the miniature, and any spots where it pools, we're just going to kind of wick it off there. So any of the armor spots we just did, we're putting it all over there. And control your pooling as best as you can. Next, we're taking some dark neutral gray, and we're going to use this as a highlight up on all of the black on Gideon. So every place where we just did that matte black, we're using this as our highlight. We're leaving our matte black in the recesses and just bringing everything up. Now we're adding some deep gray to that dark neutral gray, and we're just going to do a final layer up on all this black. We don't want it to be very shiny, so the more it gets gray, I think the more shiny it ends up looking. We still want it to look fairly flat. So we're just bringing up that black because black doesn't read as, it's just black. We need to add some depth to it. Next, we're taking some Grave Lord Gray here, and we're honestly just going to use this as a wash on his hair. Next, we're taking our Oak Brown and our Fur Brown, and we're making a gradient up to the Fur Brown, and we're going to do this skin here. So we actually just did this recently on another video where we painted Bishop from Marvel Crisis Protocol. So we're just bringing up all those colors on his face, and working on darker skin tones is something I'm not that great at, so I'm trying to get better by practicing and even watching a couple makeup tutorials. It's a good way to definitely see how to paint the contours on a face. Again, I'm still working on it. And here's a little bit more here with that Fur Brown. So we're almost at the pure Fur Brown here. And we've just brought up our colors and added the depth to the skin. And it ends up looking like really rich and nice. Next, we're taking our deep gray again. And we're just going to use this straight and just add some highlight up on his hair. So he's got kind of like almost like a 1960s greased hair look. So we want it to look a little shiny, but not crazy. Now we're hopping back to our dark neutral gray here, and we're just going to put this on his mustache. Now we're taking our Wyvern Fury here. I have mentioned before that I really like the triad system from Army Painter. Kind of takes some of the guesswork out. And we're just going to layer up that red, leaving the original dark red in the recesses. And we're going to take our pure red. We're going to do the same thing. We're also going to fill out the spots on his shoulders. And he's also got a little spot on his chest plate as well. And he's got this trim along his giant wrestling belt there. We're going to get it on there as well. And as we go through with the cape here, again, we're leaving some of that mid-red and just bringing it up to the deep red on the most raised areas. While we have this out, we can also go over to the Dark Troopers and get these little lights that they have on their chest. We can also use this to dot in their eye lenses. So they're like a glowing red. And we just put it right in there. Next, we're taking some matte white, and we are going to run a bit of an edge highlight on the Darksaber. So this can be a little bit thicker because it's like pulsating energy or whatever. It doesn't have to be a perfect edge highlight. And we also want to add in some little scratches along the blade too. He also has a couple lights on his little chest plate here. We're going to put it on there. And we're going to take some plate mail metal. We're going to put this on the little, I don't know, emblem he has on his belt. Is it a buckle? I don't know. We're also going to go over to our Dark Troopers and just do these circles that they have on the outside of their legs and arms. Now we're going to hop over to Rainforest, and this is going into the eyes and the little mouth pieces of the Death Trooper. And we're going to take some Warp Lightning, and we're going to wash those on the eyes. We're going to do the bases, and these guys are all done. And here they are all finished up. And honestly, for such easy techniques, they turned out pretty good. I'm happy with how they're not completely black. Like, they've got some blue color to them. And yeah, no, I'm really happy with the Dark Troopers. And our Death Trooper looks just as good as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's not the best paint job in the world, but we did it quickly and easily. It looks pretty nice. And here is Gideon. I'm actually really happy with how all the cloth turned out and the cape turned out. I knew need to do a little bit more work on the face, but practice makes perfect, right? So like I said, I've painted these guys before, but I really wanted to update their painting a little bit, like get away from just contrast. They're really cool sculpts, and I wanted to do them a little bit more justice, I guess. What do you guys think? Have you picked up this pack? Are you playing Star Wars Shatterpoint a lot? I definitely wanted to get these guys done quick so I could get them on the table, because the Empire that's my thing. I love the Empire and bounty hunters. I love the bad guys. That's just who I am. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. You guys have a great day. Gideon and his Dark Troopers and his Death Trooper from Star Wars Shatterpoint from blah. Hello and welcome to another episode of Blastercated Painting. Today we're going to be playing